Welcome back, friends, to Time Rewind TV. Today, we're returning to sunny Miami and the unforgettable world of CSI. Miami, a series filled with mysterious crimes, dramatic investigations, and Horatio Caine's legendary one-liners. But more than 2 decades later, the lives of its cast have changed in ways many fans may not expect. So get comfortable, and let's discover the cast of CSI Miami, then and now in 2026. Jonathan Togo was born in 1977 in Rockland, Massachusetts. He was 27 when he joined CSI Miami as Ryan Wolf, the ambitious young investigator determined to prove he belonged on Horatio Caine's team. Ryan quickly became a fan favorite because he wasn't perfect. He was smart and determined, but his stubbornness and personal struggles sometimes put his career at risk, making him feel more human than the typical television detective. Now 48, Togo remains best remembered for the role that made him familiar to millions of crime drama fans. Ryan Wolf still stands out because audiences watched him make mistakes, face the consequences, and fight his way back. Rex Linn was born in 1956 in Spearman, Texas. He was 49 when he first appeared as Frank Tripp, the tough homicide detective with a dry sense of humor and almost no patience for criminals. Linn gave Tripp the weathered confidence of a veteran cop who had already heard every excuse Miami could offer. His direct approach made him the perfect contrast to Horatio's quieter, more calculated style. Now 69, Linn has continued a successful career with roles in shows like Better Call Saul and Young Sheldon. But for CSI Miami fans, Frank Tripp remains the straight-talking detective who never needed fancy science to make a suspect nervous. Eva LaRue was born in 1966 in Long Beach, California. She was 39 when she joined CSI Miami as Natalia Boavista, an investigator whose complicated past made it difficult to know exactly how much the team could trust her. Already known for All My Children, LaRue gave Natalia toughness mixed with vulnerability. Her secrets, relationships, and personal struggles made her story about much more than simply solving crimes. Now 59, LaRue remains a familiar face to television audiences. Natalia worked because viewers watched her earn the team's trust instead of simply receiving it, turning a complicated introduction into one of the show's most memorable character journeys. Bodie Bliss was born in 1975 in Aspen, Colorado. She was 29 when she first appeared on CSI Miami as Maxine Valera, the DNA technician whose careful work often uncovered the tiny detail everyone else had missed. Valera wasn't chasing suspects through Miami, but she became a familiar face inside the crime lab. Bliss gave her a calm, approachable personality that balanced the darker cases surrounding the team. Now 50, Bliss has continued working in film and television. Maxine remains memorable because she showed that solving a murder didn't always require a gun or a dramatic interrogation. Sometimes one piece of DNA was enough to change everything. Emily Proctor was born in 1968 in Raleigh, North Carolina. She was 33 when CSI Miami premiered and became Callie Duquesne, the brilliant firearms specialist with a warm southern smile and nerves of steel. Already known from The West Wing, Proctor spent 10 seasons turning Callie into one of the show's most beloved investigators. No matter how ugly a crime scene became, she rarely lost her calm or her compassion. Now 57, Proctor remains closely associated with the role. Callie worked because her strength was never loud. She could walk into a room filled with guns, blood, and suspects, quietly find the truth, and somehow make complete confidence look effortless. Condi Alexander was born in 1957 in New York City. She was 45 when CSI Miami premiered and became Dr. Alex Woods, the medical examiner who brought unusual warmth to one of the darkest rooms in the series. Alex treated victims like people instead of evidence, often speaking gently to them while searching for the answers hidden in their injuries. Alexander later earned acclaim for powerful performances in Treem and Scandal. Now 68, Alexander remains a respected actress across film and television. Alex worked because she reminded viewers that every body on her table had once been someone's child, parent, or friend. That compassion gave the show's darkest cases a human heart. Adam Rodriguez was born in 1975 in Yonkers, New York. He was 27 when CSI, Miami premiered and became Eric Delco, confident, athletic, and fearless enough to dive underwater or walk straight into danger for a case. Delco went through some of the show's toughest moments, facing shootings, loss, complicated relationships, and mistakes that tested both his career and his loyalty to the team. Rodriguez made every setback feel personal. Now 51, Rodriguez has continued his career with projects including Magic Mike and Criminal Minds. Eric remains memorable because audiences didn't just watch him solve crimes, they watched him get knocked down, struggle, and somehow find the strength to come back. Omar Benson Miller was born in 1978 in Anaheim, California. He was 30 when he joined CSI Miami as Walter Simmons, bringing humor, curiosity, and fresh energy to Horatio Caine's team during the later seasons. Walter quickly proved he was more than comic relief. Miller gave him intelligence and an easygoing personality that allowed him to fit naturally beside characters audiences had already known for years. Now 47, Miller has gone on to roles in Ballers, The Unicorn, and True Lies. Walter worked because he never felt like someone brought in simply to replace another character. He brought something different, and made the team feel fresh again. Christian Clemenson was born in 1958 in Humboldt, Iowa. He was 51 when he joined CSI, Miami as Dr. Tom Lohman, the quirky medical examiner whose enthusiasm sometimes seemed strangely cheerful considering the bodies surrounding him. Already an Emmy-winning actor for Boston Legal, Clemenson gave Lohman an eccentric personality that made even routine autopsy scenes unpredictable, while still treating the science and victims seriously. Now 68, Clemenson remains a respected character actor. Lohman worked because he brought a little light into one of the show's darkest environments. In a series surrounded by death, his strange enthusiasm made the morgue feel surprisingly alive. David Caruso was born in 1956 in Queens, New York. He was 46 when CSI, Miami premiered and became Horatio Caine, the calm lieutenant whose red hair, cold one-liners, and sunglasses became impossible to separate from the show. Already known for NYPD Blue, Caruso turned Horatio into an international television icon. He rarely needed to shout. A sideways glance, a pause, and one perfectly timed sentence were usually enough to tell you someone was in trouble. Now 70, Caruso has largely stayed away from acting since CSI Miami ended. But Horatio never really disappeared from pop culture. The sunglasses, the one-liners, and that unforgettable stare turned a television detective into one of the most recognizable crime show characters of his era. David Lee Smith was born in 1963 in Birmingham, Alabama. He was in his early 40s when he began playing Rick Stetler, the ambitious internal affairs officer who seemed to appear whenever Horatio Caine's life wasn't difficult enough already. Stetler didn't need to be a murderer to become an enemy. Smith gave him authority, arrogance, and enough personal ambition to make every encounter with Horatio feel like a battle fought with badges instead of bullets. Now 62, Smith remains known for work including The Man from Earth. Stetler worked because Horatio couldn't simply arrest him and move on. He represented a different kind of danger, the kind that could come from inside the police department itself. Sophia Milos was born in 1969 in Zurich, Switzerland. She was 33 when she first appeared as Yelena Salas, a tough detective whose complicated connection to Horatio immediately gave the series something deeper than another crime investigation. Yelena was the widow of Horatio's brother Raymond, and the feelings between her and Horatio created one of the show's most complicated relationships. Milos kept that emotion controlled instead of turning it into melodrama. Now 56, Milos continues to be remembered by longtime CSI Miami fans. Yelena worked because every scene with Horatio carried something the crime lab couldn't analyze: history, loyalty, family, and feelings neither of them could easily say out loud. Thanks for spending another nostalgic moment with us here at Time Rewind TV. Looking back at CSI Miami reminds us just how unforgettable Horatio Caine and his team truly were. Which character do you remember most? Share your memories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you again on Time Rewind TV.